If you're a serious runner, there's 4 components that you need to have in every day that you train, whether it's an easy day or a workout day or a long run day. I'm gonna explain what those are in this video, and at the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you the most common mistake I see serious runners make. My name's Jay Johnson. I help serious runners, high school runners, adult marathoners, and I also help high school coaches. I'm so glad you're here, so let's dive into it. An intelligent training day starts with an intelligent warm-up. I'm using the word intelligent on purpose because the old school way of warming up was to simply try and touch your toes, whether you were standing up or seated, stretch your hamstrings and do that in a static way. Now what we do, the modern warm-up, is going to be a dynamic warm-up. So we're going to be moving in all 3 planes of motion. What are those 3 planes? The sagittal plane is the front-back plane. So obviously, when you're running down the road, when you're running down the cross-country course, when you're running down the track, we're moving like this. There's actually a little bit of transverse plane as well. My right shoulder comes around when my left knee comes up. And then when my right knee comes up, my left shoulder comes up. So if you were to look above my head, you would see that there's some rotation at the hips and shoulders. So a little bit of transverse plane. The other plane of motion is the frontal plane, back and forth. You might say, Jay, we're not doing that. We're not like a soccer player or a softball shortstop. But if you move in all 3 planes of motion in your warm-up, you're going to feel better in that first minute, that second minute, the first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes, okay? You have to trust me on this. Now, it's going to take some time, okay? The warm-up I wanna share with you, and you can get this warm-up at the link below. That is a warm-up you can download on your phone, and you can take it to the track or the trailhead, and it's going to take about 13 minutes, okay? Now, if you're saying, Jay, I don't have 13 minutes, right? I only have 1 hour to run, or I only have 45 minutes, or I do have 90 minutes for a long run, but I don't see why I would be giving up 13 of those minutes to do just the warm-up. Trust me on this. And in other videos, I'll explain how we can start our aerobic stimulus, right? And we know that running, we know that distance running is an aerobic endeavor, right? We have to build our aerobic engine to run faster. And I'll explain how those 13 minutes, your heart rate is becoming elevated, and then we're gonna go straight into that running. Okay, let's hop into point number 2. Now that we've warmed up, what are we gonna do? We're gonna run, okay? We either have easy days or we have hard days. Within hard days, we're going to have long runs and we're going to have workouts. I don't like the concept of medium days. I can go into that in another video if you want me to talk about that. I believe in keeping our easy days easy and our hard days hard. I talk about that in this book, Consistency is Key. This is my book for high school athletes. I also have a book for adult marathoners, but whether you're an adult marathoner or a high school athlete, we're gonna keep these easy days really easy so then our hard days can be hard, so we can really run these long runs hard, that we can really run workouts hard. What workouts would we be doing? I use a progression of runs that'll teach you to run by feel, okay? So running by feel is one of the only skills you need to be a great runner. We're gonna start with long runs, then we're gonna do fartlek runs, we're gonna do progression runs, then we're gonna do a workout I call aerobic repeats. Now, if you're thinking, Jay, what about tempo runs? What about threshold runs? I think threshold runs are great. I don't like the term tempo run, by the way. We can talk about that in another video. But when we do threshold runs, that's gonna come at the end of this progression because you need to learn to run by feel. Now, all the workouts I use when I'm teaching high school coaches how to coach, or when I'm working with adult marathoners or working with high school athletes, is we want this progression of workouts because you're going to learn to run by feel. These are, if it's running by feel, then it's not time-based, right? So you're not using your watch saying, hey, I'm doing a 20-minute run, I'm dialing in 6-minute pace, I'm going to do a tempo run at 6-minute pace for 20 minutes. We're not doing that. We might do a progression run that's 20 minutes, go 10, 5, 5, 10 minutes at a steady pace, 5 minutes a little bit faster, 5 minutes a little bit faster than that. I'm getting off on a tangent talking about workouts. We will talk about that in other videos. But the bottom line is we've done an intelligent warm-up. Now we've done our run. So what is part 3? You've got to do strides every day. That's part 3. The third thing you'll do in every intelligent running day is strides. So in the long run, I actually have athletes in the last 20 minutes of the long run doing strides. If it's an easy day early in the training, so let's say you're a high school cross country runner and it's in the summer, it's June and July, we're going to do the strides as part of our easy run. Let's say we have a 45-minute run. We're gonna go from roughly the 25 or 30-minute mark up to the 40 or 45-minute mark. We're just gonna do some strides at 5K effort. And again, it's effort-based, it's not time-based. You're not, let's say you're an 18:45 5K runner, that's 6-minute pace per 1600. You don't look at your watch and say, am I dialed into 6-minute pace? So, bottom line is we're always doing strides. Now, after workouts later in the season, this gets a little bit tricky because we're doing race pace workouts and we're always going fast, faster, fastest. Another concept in consistency is key. But if the fastest running you did came at the end of the workout, we may or may not do strides. There's other days where we're always doing strides at the end of the workout. So the asterisks to doing strides every day is there are certain workout days where if we ran really fast at the end of the workout, we wouldn't do strides. But the bottom line is number 3 is strides. So we've done an intelligent warm-up, we're doing our run, and within our run, you could say that number 3 is part of number 2, is we're doing strides. Okay, so what's the final part of an intelligent training day? What are we doing at the end of the workout? We're doing post-run work. And post-run work is general strength and mobility. Now, as an asterisk, after months and months, we might go into the weight room, we might do some plyometrics to improve running economy and things like that. But let's just focus on what we're gonna do every day in your first week of training to, let's say, your 10th or 12th week of training. We're doing post-run work. So, we need to strengthen the musculoskeletal system, right? As we get stronger aerobically, sometimes our body lags behind that and we can have injuries because we're able to run faster. Our aerobic system has grown, but let's say our calf and Achilles tendon isn't as strong. There's also a hormonal benefit to doing this. Men and women both have testosterone. We wanna upregulate testosterone, right? That has so many benefits for a runner, and we're not doing that in our run. So when we go for a run, that's basically a catabolic activity. Catabolic meaning tearing down. You've never heard of catabolic steroids. You have heard of anabolic steroids, right? Now, we're not using steroids, we're not using drugs, but this idea of anabolic is a word that means building up. So if our run sort of tore us down, then we're doing this anabolic work at the end of the run to build us back up. Final thing is this is gonna be injury prevention work. We need to stay injury-free. If we stay injury-free, we can be consistent. And as this book is titled, consistency is key. If you wanna be a great runner, you just need to stay consistent week after week, month after month, and you will almost certainly run PRs if you can string together a lot of weeks and a lot of months of training. So that brings us back to this post-run work. We're doing post-run work not to have a great core and great abs and even really strong hips and things like that. We're doing this to keep you injury-free so that you can train more and that you can train harder. All right, we're near the end of the video and you're probably wondering, Jay, what's that mistake that most runners make? And I should also say that many coaches make when they assign training. I'll get to that in one moment, but I'm hoping you'll do 2 things. That you'll get the intelligent warm-up that I've talked about at the beginning of this video. For the latest and greatest warm-up I'm using, click the link below. You can also get the 4 key workouts that I assign to athletes. There's a progression of those. It's long runs to fartlek runs to progression runs to aerobic repeats. I'll talk about how they teach you to run by feel. And I also explain how when you learn to run by feel, you're gonna decrease the chance of injury. There's a better chance you'll stay injury-free. And as we know, if you stay injury-free, you'll more likely be consistent and you'll race faster. All right, so what is that mistake? The mistake is not doing strides. The mistake is either skipping the strides when they're assigned or not having them assigned in the training. So if you go back to what I said in this video, when I assign a long run, if we're doing a 60-minute long run, at the 40-minute mark, we're gonna do somewhere between 4 and 6 strides at somewhere between 20 and 30 seconds at roughly 5K effort. Now, if you're saying, Jay, that's not very fast. If you're a high school 1,600 meter runner, or you're a high school athlete running cross country, it's only 5K effort, but that'll teach you to run up tall, teach you to run with good posture, and it'll get you running a little bit faster. If you're a marathoner, running those strides at 5K pace is great because it's faster than race pace. Later on in my training, we're always running faster than our race pace. So we'll use the high school athlete who's running the 1600. They're gonna be doing strides at least at 800 meter pace, maybe down to 400 meter pace. And we might do something called an in and out where we run in for 50 meters and maintain for 50 meters, run out for 50 meters. That's a certain type of stride. We'll do that several times per week. But the bottom line is when strides are assigned, if you're the athlete, you've got to do the strides. And if you're the coach, you need to look at your training and say, hey, if an athlete's running 6 days a week, are they doing strides 6 days per week? Thanks so much for joining me. I really hope you'll take the time to get the free warm-up, to get the 4 key workouts every athlete should do. If you want to subscribe to this channel, I'd love that. If you like this video, that would be great if you liked it as well. What would be also great is if you wanted to share this with somebody. More videos come out every week, and I would really appreciate if in the comments, we covered a lot of ground in this video. What questions do you have? Put them in the comments, and I will make videos to answer your questions. All right, have a fantastic day and have a fantastic run.